Coming up on Mountain News this morning, basketball fans at an Eastern Kentucky high school honored the life of a beloved superintendent. And police in one Kentucky county come together to give kids in our region a bit more joy this Christmas season.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Well, the weekend's over. It's Monday, December 13th. Good morning to you. It's 5:30. I'm Dakota Makris. Thanks for waking up with us. And let's check in with Brandon with that cold forecast. And I hope you all, if you're watching that, well, you're by a fire or somewhere warm, because it's certainly cold outside.
Yes, it is. And it's going to warm up during the daytime hours, but the mornings are going to be chilly for much of the week before we see some rain chances return to our region. Let's take a look at those temperatures right now, and you'll see 20s and 30s out there. 23 Jonesville, 34 just up the road in Wise there, 31 Jackson, 25 London and Williamsburg, also Jacksboro, 32 in Pikeville this morning, 27 in Hazard. A couple of degrees colder in some spots from this time yesterday morning, a couple of degrees warmer in some spots from this time yesterday morning. So not a whole big change there. Breakfast forecast, get your bowls out. We're going to get you some frosted weather wheats, and you'll see that they're going to be frosted for sure. Temperatures running in the 20s and 30s this morning, but they'll climb quickly with the sunshine, and that sunrise is actually at 7:40 this morning. That's why we have the night graphic still on the 7 o'clock hour, and then 5:15, not moving too much there. Days continue to get shorter on the front end, but it's going to be a nice day overall with temperatures topping out near 60 later today. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, Governor Andy Beshear updated Kentuckians on the devastating tornadoes in western Kentucky during the weekend. Now, he spoke in Mayfield, saying more than 1,000 homes are gone. Governor Andy Beshear spoke on the devastation left behind in Mayfield after a tornado swept through Friday night.
I believe this will ultimately be the longest tornado in certainly U.S. history, from the point where it touched down to when it finally picked back up. Over 220 miles, 200 of them are in my state.
Nearly 2 days after storms hit, 18 counties seeing damage and more than 30,000 Kentuckians without power as of Sunday morning.
We've now been granted the immediate federal state of emergency. It is rare. It was granted incredibly quickly.
Saying the National Guard continues to look for survivors, even though the outlook looks grim.
But otherwise, to at least have certainty for families that we can advise them of their loss.
The governor commenting on the deaths at the candle factory in Mayfield, saying they have not made another live rescue.
There were 110 or so people within the facility. Originally, there were 40 rescues, and then they're still trying to make contact with different individuals to determine exactly how bad it is.
Mayfield's mayor, Kathy Stewart Onam, saying their city hall and fire station were destroyed.
I've tried not to cry a lot, but I did cry. I had to have a moment. And I looked across, and in the rubble of that bank, I saw the flag of the United States that had just recently flown at that fire station.
Looking to once again raise the American flag over the city. Well, the governor says the main operation right now is recovery. Well, during the 35th annual WYMT Food City Mountain Classic Championship Tournament on Saturday, many Knott County fans filled the stands with pink to remember Knott County's late superintendent, Kimberly King, who died from breast cancer earlier this year. Knott County fans and players held a pink out night Saturday to honor King's memory.
My dad and I are both so appreciative of it. You know, seeing people remember Mom, and Mom loved these tournaments. She loved being a part of it, seeing all of the local teams from Eastern Kentucky get involved, and she loved seeing Knott County students been able to succeed and be able to participate in any of these tournaments that she could.
During halftime for the girls' championship game, a memorial scholarship in King's honor was awarded to a Knott County student. The 25th annual Shop with the Cop took place during the weekend over in Laurel County. With the help of several organizations of officers gathered at the London Walmart. With all hands on deck, more than 180 kids were helped in getting a good Christmas this year. Chairman of the event, Lieutenant Chris Edwards, says that is to be expected.
200, 225 is the normal number, and like I say, man, the population growth of Laurel County, the county is growing leaps and bounds, and the need is growing as well.
Lieutenant Edwards says they are already planning for next year's event. His department hopes to accomplish another 25 years. Well, Saturday night was a jolly time for folks in downtown Hazard. A Christmas parade made its way through different parts of the city. Cars, trucks, and side-by-sides were decorated with lights and other Christmas decorations. The parade wrapped up Perry County's Christmas in a small-town event.
Starts in the Perry County Park. They're going to go around the nursing home so the residents can see it, come back through the park, out onto 15, down into Hazard, down Main Street, all the way to Magic Mart.
So magical. Well, the first Lego League tournament took place this past weekend. A robotics-themed competition hosted at East Perry Elementary School by the Challenger Learning Center. The event helps give kids a chance to learn a variety of skills and tips in team building. Program coordinator Joseph Collins says it is important because it gives a real hands-on approach.
It gives students a chance to think and act as real-world engineers and problem solvers. We look at this like it was a real-world activity. They're doing a real research project with real innovations.
Well, Collins says the turnout was great, with each group being judged in 4 separate categories. Several trophies and medals were handed out commemorating the kids' hard work. Well, 'tis the season for writing letters to Santa Claus. One town in Indiana is particularly ready for the uptick in postage. Santa Claus, Indiana has been getting letters to Santa since Ripley's Believe It or Not mentioned the town in 1930. Today, the town receives about 30,000 letters a year. Santa Claus even has elves who respond to many of the letters during the Christmas season. SantaCon made its return in New York City after taking a year off for the pandemic. The New York Christmas event took place Saturday with Santas of all shapes and sizes taking to the streets to celebrate the big man himself. But not everyone was excited to have the gathering back. Some New Yorkers say fights and drinking have been an issue in the past.
A few years ago, as a New Yorker, I felt it was absolutely annoying because they would be just packed up in the subway. But today I'm actually happy that they're back.
Well, the event, which according to the SantaCon app, is taking place at more than 50 venues across the city, and is working with police and vaccine mandates in the state. Well, New York City is also pulling out the stops to spread holiday cheer with new lavish window displays. Retailers are wanting to make holiday shopping extra special this year. CNN's Alexandra Fields reports.
It's the most wonderful time of the year once again.
I feel like I'm a little kid again, honestly.
It's been wonderful and magical.
New York City's annual holiday show is underway, transforming the city into a winter wonderland for New Yorkers and tourists alike.
It really gives you the spirit of Christmas like no other place.
Muted last year as COVID-19 ravaged the city, the nation, and the world.
Light up the night.
This year, the fanfare is back.
Hello, New York City!
And so are the crowds.
It's really nice to see things come back to the life in the city here.
The sidewalks are dressed in their usual holiday style, and after a trying time, a pandemic-weary city is ready to celebrate the season.
I think this year was probably a year where we knew that a holiday was going to have to be more meaningful, more beautiful, more enticing, more playful, warmer than ever.
Bergdorf Goodman on 5th Avenue is one of the department stores that transforms its windows into a festive feast for the senses.
Our role in a store like this is to give people a reason to leave those screens, get dressed, come out, be part of an energy of something bigger.
The displays take months to design and create. They're meant to draw shoppers in and dazzle passers-by.
Just kind of makes you, forget how the past year and a half has been.
Several of New York's department stores have closed in recent years, in part as in-person retail sales have slowed due to the rise in online shopping. For those stores left, the holiday displays are even more meaningful.
When there's less of us, that makes our job more important to keep people shopping and visiting the store.
It's Christmas time in the city.
At Bloomingdale's, nostalgia shines over Lexington Avenue. Each window inspired by a designer's childhood memory, a favorite toy dinosaur, sweaters knit by mom, a twirling jewelry box ballerina.
Everybody wants to forget and just let themselves go for a moment. And you know, that's our job, is to provide that little relief so that everyone can get themselves into that holiday spirit that they're yearning for.
And perhaps the most storied windows of all, Macy's.
These windows are Macy's gifts to the city.
The flagship store has been delighting New York City for more than a century.
And we're carrying that tradition of enchanting our customers and our New Yorkers.
Last year, the famous Herald Square windows paid tribute to frontline workers. Now, a return to the traditional as shoppers come back to the city. COVID-19 and its variants are still here.
You still got to wear your mask and do your things and get your vaccines and stuff. But it's nice to be out again, seeing people, enjoying things. It's just great to start over again.
But a dose of holiday cheer is making the season a little brighter. Alexandra Field, CNN, New York.
Nordstrom is doing something a little different this year. Instead of windows displays, the company is covering the 57th Street location with 50 miles of lights, 150 trees, and 11-foot tall nutcrackers. A group of military veterans in Tennessee have been bonding at an unlikely location for more than 2 decades. The Military Veteran Support Group has been meeting at the same Costco in Nashville on Friday mornings for the last 22 years. What began as 2 men having lunch has slowly grown into the community it is today.
We understand each other. We have a common bond. I don't think that any fraternity or sorority can beat what this group has got.
Well, the pandemic caused the group to stop meeting for the first time in 2 decades, but they say they are back in full force. Anybody is welcome to join in on the conversation on Friday mornings, but to get their official shirt, you have to be a veteran. Well, just ahead this morning, a famous rapper receives a special reward following her graduation from a Texas university.
And the forecast, we're going to continue to follow the possibility for some lightweight rain chances, but until then, we are dry as a bone. I'll have the forecast in about 3 minutes.